Well, hi everyone, and welcome to today's session around our Smarter SMSF courses update. My name is Aaron Dunn, and today we're going to provide you both with an update around our courses more generally, but take you into our courses and show you not only the way in which the content has been provided, both in our SMSF Foundations course, but also in our SMSF Essentials course. And then behind that, show you some of the other features that we've added, not only through the course itself, but then around things such as the AI that we have now integrated within our courses to enhance that learning experience for the student. So we'll take a very practical lens today to what we're going to be covering in today's session. So to kick things off, I guess a bit of an agenda to help you understand what we'll be going through. First and foremost, we really want to set the scene for you to understand our approach to delivering SMSF education and our CPD matrix model that incorporates our course content. And then we're going to go through, as part of that model, what we see as our starter, smarter, smartest approach in delivering that education. We'll then dive into and help you to understand how we've built the courses, so the framework in which those courses operate, the CPD hours that are around that, and then also explain the differences between how we have this available as a retail product that allows for individuals to come on to the Smarter SMSF platform. But equally, we have this as a scalable enterprise solution whereby firms, large organizations, and we have a number of those now, can actually utilize their own learning management systems to deliver that SMSF Foundations or SMSF Essentials course. We're then going to jump in, and again, we'll navigate through our Learn platform and go into the courses and demonstrate not only how these courses are delivered, how you can access the resources, how you access the support, but we'll also show you how we have built the AI in here to enable you to ask questions of the bot to enhance that overall learning experience as well. We'll then sort of come back to the slides and wrap things up, talking more specifically about the general benefits and naturally who that's for, and a bit of a roadmap in terms of where we're heading, not only with our existing courses, but also with our advanced course, as well as we move into the final quarter of the year and then into 2025. And then we'll wrap up again just with a beyond the courses. So once you have gone on your education journey to get yourself up to speed through either our Foundations course or Essentials course, we'll sort of take you into what that next phase might look like with our additional CPD solutions for you. So at Smarter SMSF, many of you will know over the past couple of years, we've included a full-time dedicated education and technical manager into the business, so Tim Miller. And what that has enabled us to do is to take a new and fresh look through a different lens around how our CPD and education offering looks like, without sort of falling away from what we believe is our core approach to what we do in just about everything in our education and our documents, and that is on delivering affordable and scalable solutions within the SMSF sector. So from a CPD point of view, it is about scalable education to suit the varying skills and expertise that sit within the sector. We know we have offshore teams, we have new entrants coming into the market, we have those that are maybe on their specialist journey, and then we have specialists ordinarily. And all of those have varying degrees, not only of expertise, but ongoing CPD requirements as well. And as part of that change in approach, this is where we started to identify some opportunities and some gaps that sat in the market. And we've had a number of changes that you as members already, or those of you that maybe are not members but have attended training, would have seen that shift in the way in which we deliver education. And one of those has clearly been the success of our masterclass events that complement those CPD webinars and the course content that we have available. And as I mentioned at the very beginning, it is around this clear model that we have that enables you to go, okay, where do I or where does my team member fit in here, and what resources does Smarter SMSF have available to us to enable that uplift in education? And this matrix that we've now built helps you to understand the various products and where we fit in delivering those various solutions to you. So when it comes to that starter approach, yes, our SMSF Foundations course is our primary product that we have to be able to suit those that are in their infant years when it comes to self-managed super funds. And we've had lots of conversations with people about whether we deliver webinars and other aspects of training. And we do some in-house training to support different firms. But ultimately, the way in which we deliver our Foundations course has been proven to be the best way to accelerate that learning for the student, enhanced with the mentorship that they would get internally within that organization to assist with that learning. And we'll talk about those key benefits a little bit later on. And then we kind of move into our smarter approach. And this is where our Essentials course was originally born. It was called Foundations originally, but over time we've enhanced that product and then split out into a Foundations course itself. But again, many of you would be aware of our SMSF Day events where we focus on more proficient levels of knowledge around the training. We have our other webinars. So whether that is our Changing Face of SMSF, our SMSF tax planning modules, all of these things are designed to help practitioners that roll their sleeves up and get their hands dirty when it comes to SMSFs in some way, shape or form in their week, each and every part of the year. So the Essentials course really helps to fit into that model of smarter. And then what we did identify was then we needed solutions that would fit our smartest approach. So those that have maybe specialist designations already, or those that are very active in the SMSF space and really need to keep abreast of what's happening from a legislative and regulatory point of view, clear strategies, unpacking those issues. And that's where our masterclasses really stepped into its own here to be able to support those. Quite clearly, our other events like our SMSF Days are pitched in that regard. We have our in-house training to be able to support that as well. And we've recognized the need for an advanced course here, which will be somewhat different to the way in which our Foundations and Essentials course is written. But again, just noting that we will have a course as we move into 2025 with far more in-depth modules looking at a broad range of topics. And you can see right across the bottom there, you can see those target ranges or target audiences that we have that support each of those three aspects to our education matrix. So let's kind of bring this back to our courses. And again, applying this approach, our Foundations course has been developed to enable people to get a base level of knowledge around SMSF. So it does target new graduates, administration staff that may need to just understand a bit more than the absolute basics when it comes to their role. Offshore teams is quite common that we see as well. So we have 6 modules that provide about 10 hours of education with that Foundations course. And since its launch late last year, early this year, I'm trying to recall off the top of my head, effectively we've seen a very strong intake of new entrants coming in, and in particular staff that are coming into organizations, get them kicked off with some base level understanding to make sure that they can go and effectively undertake the role that they've been employed to do. But equally in saying that, our Essentials course, 7 modules, 18 accredited CPD hours, is equally as popular because it is all about maintaining currency of knowledge. And the reason why we call it Essentials comes back to the fact that this course is designed to make sure you understand what is essential in doing your day-to-day job. So the modules that we have focus around reporting, contributions, pensions, all those things that you live and breathe every day as a practitioner that works with SMSF clients. And then our advanced course is again going to be a specialist level course, in-depth understanding of various SIS, tax and legal issues. It is designed at the smartest level, and we are working with the SMSF Association as a way in which you will be accelerated to become a SSA. And we are looking at packaging this up as a solution with the SMSF Association to look at the SSA exam and then ultimately accreditation that comes back. What I will say with the advanced course is we will be releasing not only this in course form, but we will be releasing these as individual modules as well. So for example, LRBAs or insurance, as we are working through those at this point in time, noting that they'll probably be the first couple of modules that are different to our Essentials and Foundations modules there. We will be making those available to look at and utilize standalone. And then as we build the multiple modules that sit within the course, we will then naturally package all that up for you as well. So we expect that to be at least 20 hours. There will be some recognition of prior learning as part of that advanced course as well. So we'll have more on that as we move through some of those initial modules over this quarter and early into 2025. So let's go down and try and have a look at and understand the Foundations course a little bit further. So as I said, this is designed in a way that we have 6 modules, 10 hours, and it is pure e-learning. And what I mean by pure e-learning is that it enables you to work through in a fully mobile responsive environment at a point in time that suits you. Now, we do have some time constraints in respect to completing that Foundations course, but most importantly, it enables you to sort of work through within that time frame constraint the topics that suit the time frame that you actually need. So we recognize some modules, some people might be more proficient in, some modules they might not be. This way of e-learning enables you to work through that in that time that suits you. So it is fully interactive. It includes a number of videos from Tim. It includes a number of interactions that we're going to go and show you all that sort of stuff. And then it is used with many people as an ongoing sort of resource. So the fact that you can download the workbooks and have those as guides as you work through stuff, you can go back and utilize it as well. And that we have, as I mentioned before, our Smarter AI bot that enables you to go, okay, I kind of get it. I've read it. I've listened to it. Maybe I just want to ask some questions. And what we've been doing with the Smarter AI bot in respect to the courses is we have been specifically uploading all of that reference material into the AI, including the relevant links, and then teaching it from that information to be able to provide responses to you on those particular topics. Now, in terms of who that's suitable for, we've spent a lot of time already sort of talking to this Foundations course. What I will say, though, is that we have, as part of our partnership with the SMSF Association, included a complimentary period of affiliate membership with the SMSF Association. So what I'm going to do here is just jump over to the website, and I'm going to take you into a couple of our pages. So we have on our SMSF, Smarter SMSF site, we have our Essentials and Foundations course that you can see here. So this here provides you with all the information, not only in respect to the complimentary period of membership. So if we go over to here, you can see that this takes you into the page that explains all this information on the SMSF Association's website. So once you've successfully completed that, you then have the ability to claim, in this instance, under the Foundations course, that affiliate membership. There's a code that would be done and the benefits that come from that affiliate membership. Now, the other part to this that I should say is that when you go to this page here, we then also provide you with details of the course outline. So you'll understand what is covered within each of those modules, I should say, and you get a breakdown of each of those elements. And again, this applies equally in respect to both the Foundations course modules and also the Essentials course modules as well. So I'm just going to jump back to the slides again to take us back into the Essentials course information here. Make sure I get back on the right page. So our Essentials course, very much in the same vein as I just went through the Foundations course here. So this, again, is designed to fill the gap around knowledge and maintaining currency across those various technical and regulatory skills. So again, we know who this is suitable for. We've spoken about that in our matrix earlier. We also see this as a great refresher for professionals that might not touch on some of these areas very often. So the fact that they want to sort of upskill themselves in the tax, because they might not spend a lot of time as an advisor in the tax area, or we see changes around contribution rules, all those things, there is an opportunity to look at that. And we also see general practitioners quite often where SMSF might represent 10 or 15% of maybe the time, and therefore that currency of knowledge, the course provides them with an excellent opportunity to make sure that they stay up to date in that regard. But the principles here are fundamentally the same in all of our course-based material. So not only is there the 7 modules, the 18 accredited hours, it is all self-paced. Again, you have 4 months here to complete this course. It is through interaction, videos, interactions, assessments, all those sorts of things. We have an add-on if you want to use this as an ongoing resource. And we have naturally a regular review process around currency of content. So Tim is continuing to work through much of these materials at the moment, things like contribution cap changes, indexation of various amounts, say whether it's transfer balance cap or total superannuation balance, even with proposed measures like things like Division 296. We've recently seen the announcement about draft regulations for legacy pensions, all those sorts of things we bring back into here and then ensure that things remain current and up to date. And again, you have access via our Smarter AI bot to be able to assist you throughout that process. And equally, again, whether you're doing the Essentials course or the Foundations course, we have that period of complimentary membership that is available within the SMSF Association. So our Essentials course gives you that associate membership that you can see on the left-hand side. And that complimentary period of membership is dependent upon the time of year when this is included. So the SMSF Association's period of membership runs from 1 April to the 31st of March each year. So if you would complete the course now successfully, let's say it was the Essentials course, you will get a complimentary period of membership through until the 31st of March 2025. And again, you get all the references on here in respect to the benefits of that. And we'll send you a link to this to find out a little bit more in our follow-up email to you. So again, equally here with our Essentials course, if I go back into Essentials here, again, you can purchase from here and then go through and find out more information about the course outline, the FAQs, details of the associate membership, and much more. All right, let's hop back into our slides again and keep things ticking along. Because what we do have from a Smarter SMSF perspective with our courses is the fact that we have both a retail offering, and that retail offering is effectively saying to you, you can jump onto our website, as I showed you then, and purchase individual courses for a team member or multiple team members. So you can choose the number of courses you want to pick. And what that is going to do is it's going to provide you with a login to our platform to be able to go and access the course and complete it within that prescribed timeframe. Now, what we have done as part of the process is we have actually created different user guides to be able to help you understand and navigate once you have purchased, how you log in, and then how you work through the courses. And again, as part of that journey, we will be asking you post that registration, are you intending on undertaking this course at your own pace, acknowledging that there is a time frame for completion, or would you like to get a bit of an elbow in the back to keep you moving based upon the time that we believe it should take you to be at the completion of module 1 and then the completion of module 2 and so on and so forth. So we have built some regular emails if you want an assisted path to that completion. And then finally, once that course is completed, you will get your CPD certificate and then some details and instructions around how you can access membership. Now, on the flip side, from an enterprise point of view, we have the ability for these courses in what is called SCORM format, or either through embed code, to make these courses available through an external LMS. So you might be within a large organization or an association or some other format where you have your own learning system that you need to upkeep, your employee information, and then there might be other CPD and stuff that's added in there. So we have a number of businesses that we work with already that rather than them having to log into our own platform, they can access the courses via their own platform, and then internally through their own policies and education managers, compliance managers, whatever the case may be, they are controlling the timeframes for completion of courses, and I guess the overall staff arrangements for the conduct and the way in which those courses need to be completed by the relevant team members, both internally, so as in domestically within Australia, but then also overseas where that is relevant as well. The advantage of this is that we can also then do some customization around modules as well where relevant. Some of the firms we work with, there's some inbuilt processes and approaches to the way in which those modules then can be built, so they are customizable in that regard. So what happens is Smarter SMSF becomes responsible for the content maintenance and the CPD certification and the changelog, but ultimately the management of the team and the team members completing that all falls into the auspices of that particular organization themselves. So where on a retail side, you simply buy the product, log in and access the product via our site, get your certificate and move on. On the enterprise side, we provide you with those files. We have an implementation fee and then a license fee based upon the number of users in that regard. So just understanding those variations in respect to the way in which we can provide these SMSF courses to the marketplace more broadly. So let's jump in now and I guess have a look live at the way in which we've built these courses and how you can access this information. So the first thing I might do here is just take you to our dashboard here. So what you can see here is this is our education dashboard. And you do have, and we've just recently added this information, you can go into the knowledge base, or you can go back to the documents platform, across to our support or into the admin console and so forth. So you're going to see this switcher approach being a key feature across all of our sort of subdomains around the Smarter SMSF platform. But in our knowledge base that you can see here, we have these various user guides. So if you have purchased the Foundations course, and the same thing happens here with the Essentials course. So you can see in here the user guide for the Essentials course. What you have in here is the full sort of user guide that helps you to not only understand what the registration looks like, how you access that, and then what happens around the fact of, do I want to do this in a self-paced environment or send me some reminder emails? And again, based upon the path that you choose, we will then obviously look after you in terms of keeping you on track, or just letting you know that you have maybe a month to go and a week to go, and making sure that you get that completed. Now, you then have the ability to log in, and then it goes through about making sure how you access that information. And then as you can see here, we're starting to jump into the specifics about how you work through the particulars of the module as well. So what I'm now going to do is go into this and show you much of what is in these particular user guides. So as I said, we've got here to our main dashboard page, and you can see quite clearly here there's the ability to access courses from the navigation on the left-hand side, or you can access it from the front screen here as well. So you have your profile if you are a Smarter SMSF member, for example, and you have our CPD and you're maintaining your CPD through here on an ongoing basis. You'll see your detail around the courses that are available, what has been completed, the certificates that have been awarded, the CPD hours, and so forth as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take us into the courses page itself. And again, you have access here to the Foundations or Essentials course. So what is important to note is when you buy these courses, if you are not a member, even if you are a member, our system is based upon different tags that give you access to different things within the platform. So you might be able to navigate to certain parts of this, but you will get to a point in time if you're trying to get into the Foundations course and you don't have, you haven't purchased that course, then it won't give you access to see the content that we have in here, and then therefore to be able to go in and actually obtain your CPD certificate off the back of it. So you might be thinking, oh, okay, well, can I just log in and access this? Short answer is no. You need to, as part of that purchase process, it will grant you the relevant access permissions to be able to go in and have a look at this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pick one of these topics here. We'll go to contributing and SMSF. And what you can see in each of these modules is that we have both course material, and then we actually have an assessment that needs to be done to validate the learning from that particular module. So a few things to note is, as I mentioned before, this is a fully mobile responsive platform. So you can do this on a PC, you can do it on a laptop, you can do it on a mobile phone, you can do it on an iPad. And the format will modify itself to enable you to view it on all of those different mediums. Now, what you can see here is that we have the ability to listen to audio and change that volume. We can bring it out to full screen if we want to as well. We can refresh. And then any of the topics that we work through, we are simply going through and clicking on next. And then you will hear either myself or Tim in any of these modules and courses going through and referencing much of the material. So a couple of things that are also worth noting here as well is we have on a resources page, in every module, you will download your workbook. So the workbook in here gives you all the information that we are covering inside the module. We recognize some people, such as myself, is a visual learner, so I clearly benefit from seeing Tim looking at stuff that are bright and colorful, and some people are better audio based and some people are better actually reading content. So all of those different cues are available here to enable you to be able to access and watch this. So what we have in here is a 32-page booklet, and it goes through all the relevant topics, all of the assessments that we have, or validated learning assessments within the module itself are in here as well, along with activity answers, the summaries at the beginning, the stage in which this is current to, and then effectively you can go through and understand how this has been built. Now, one of the things that is worth highlighting here with our SMSF Foundations course is we have built it on our main 6 characters that you can see here. So all of the examples we use, all of the assessments that we use are all based upon Sam and Alan, Athena and Carl, and William and Rosalind. So again, it gives you an understanding of the client and the circumstances that you'll be dealing with clients along the way. And as is always the case, we apply a life cycle approach in this particular course as well, and we'll be highlighting to you as we work through these different modules what phase of that life cycle we may actually be within. So as we kind of just work through some of these, as I said, these have audio sitting over the top of it as well. Where relevant, we'll have links if we're making reference to different things in here. And again, you can go back to your workbook as well. As you work through the different modules as well, we have different interactions that sit within each of these particular slides. And then as you go through a topic in its own right, we then will introduce some validated learning in here as well. And again, based upon which course it is at a foundations level or an essentials level, those level of questions and answers are obviously going to be much different based upon the user that's completing those as well. So if we just click on this here, you can then see we get that information, validates that we are understanding what we've been talking about and allows us to continue to move on. So once we've completed the particular module in itself, this one is around 1.5 to 2 hours it may take, then we go through and we undertake the actual assessment. So we would go in and then look at the quiz itself, and the quiz in each of these modules sets out the particulars of the, there's anywhere between 5 to 7 questions and a time frame that we need to go in and complete those questions. So it doesn't matter what module we actually go in to do. If we go in, you can see here there is an absolute consistency in each of these and the way in which we are talking about the topics and the way in which you get the information in here as well. If we go down to accessing superannuation benefits as well, again, you'll see the consistency in the approach. You've got all the relevant information in here as well. You'll then, again, move into the quiz questions as part of that approach and go on. And then once that has been completed in totality, you will see a progress screen at the top here. So I haven't yet completed that. So you need to complete both the module pages. So the module page here itself needs to be completed and the quiz, and it will move to a tick and recognize that those two have been completed. So you can see in here, I have not yet completed the module 6, ending the life cycle. So just a quick tip here is to make sure that we've done both of those things here that you can see. So it will require me to complete the quiz in this regard. And once that quiz has been completed, it will give me access to download that CPD certificate. So that's the crux of how this works, not only, again, for our foundations course, but equally applies in respect to our essentials course as well. So our essentials course was our first one that's been built. You can see here, you then have the ability to download the certificate that's there. And again, it's all based upon each of the modules and the quizzes having been successfully completed. So that is the crucial aspect to this. But again, if we go into any of these particular modules, what you will see is an absolute consistency in the fact that you can download your resources. You have this blended learning format in terms of both videos and audio. So it enables you to go in and not only look at that information, but then go and test your knowledge around those, again, based upon, in this instance, a much higher expectation of the student, having knowledge given at its essentials course versus a foundations course. So these workbooks, obviously, again, fairly comprehensive in terms of what we cover. Also, the reference guides that we have, or the resources, I should say, we have a range of things, links to rulings in the essentials courses. We have cases. We also incorporate things like our sample documents, where we believe that will benefit you as you work through things like binding death benefit nominations that you can see here. So we'll take you through and have a look at that on the Smarter SMSF site where relevant. And again, looking at more recent decisions that we believe will be relevant to your understanding around binding death benefit nominations. Of course, the Hill and Zuda High Court decision is a very good example in that regard. So Again, that just provides you with some guidance and feedback around how that works. Now, the really exciting thing that I was speaking to you about before, and I might, whether we do it in here or whether we do it elsewhere, is that we now have this Ask AI function. So what we have in each of the modules here is the ability for you to ask questions in respect to a particular topic. So at this stage, we have built this into each of the modules. So you can see here, you can ask me a question about a relevant topic we're talking about in module 5. So it's limited to that at the moment. And we're trying to build out this to an extent where you'd be able to kind of cover this off more broadly. So the idea here is like, I kind of get what Aaron and or Tim were talking about, but I don't really understand the concept of, say, disregarded small fund assets. So can you explain to me how disregarded small fund assets works, or applies is probably a better. Right, and by asking that question, what the body's then starting to do is it's going back into the content that we've included in here, not only in respect to the materials that we've added in the workbook, but we're trying to add additional information here to help you to understand that a little bit more as well. So the journey will start, so you can then start to look at the information that it provides here. And then it might be, well, is disregarded small fund assets based upon 1.6 million or a member's transfer balance cap? Because we know this is a flat figure. So again, it's going to be looking that up, and it will say it's based upon a member's TSB over 1.6 immediately before the start of the year. So the idea here is we see a lot of questions coming through from students just trying to understand, make sure they've got their head around it. So the idea here is that as you work through these particular modules, if you're not sure, even if you are sure and you just want to validate that you're sure, this bot here now allows you to ask it questions to determine or to validate the learning that you've got on a particular topic. Okay, so it doesn't matter, like I said, whether it's in the tax module or the pensions module, it's in the contributions here as well. Quite clearly, if you're trying to ask it questions that is outside the scope of the module, it's not necessarily going to answer that. So if you're looking at something like how the small CGT, how do the small business CGT concessions work, that fits outside the scope of this module. So so it might provide a very basic explanation, whereas when we get into the advanced course, quite clearly we're going to be talking about that topic in much more detail, and therefore it's going to give you more information to be able to support that as well. So yeah, so we're pretty excited about what this AI feature is going to provide and really enhance the learning for students as you work through this. We're using ChatGPT 4 at the moment. Again, we know that there's been some recent iterations of that, so more powerful versions of that. We're looking at whether we use ChatGPT or a Gemini or something else in that regard as well. But these are clear benefits that we see within the learning and education model. We're also going to be looking at that from a technical support model as well. So we're doing a lot of work in this space to better understand it and then look to how we can actually utilize it, not only with our education, not only with our support, but also with our documents as well. So let's move back and sort of bring today's session home. So when we think about our courses more generally, hopefully what we've been able to articulate today is it is all about the power of knowledge and the ability to grow your knowledge and keep up to date to successfully undertake your work. Now, it's kind of scary when Tim and I sort of sat and spoke about this in the last few days that we now collectively have more than 50 years of experience within the SMSF sector. And this is why many people kind of come back to Smarter SMSF and trust us. not only with that expertise, but as award-winning specialists in this space. The fact that you can access this course in a time and pace that suits you. So again, you may be able to work through a module on contributions fairly quickly because you feel like you're up to speed with it. There might be a time frame of an hour, hour and a half to 2 hours, but you can scoot through it in 45 minutes. That's fine. You will still get awarded the CPD for it. It's all about validating your learning around a particular topic. But if you need to spend 6 hours going through tax when you only need 4, again, that's fine as well. It is all about making sure that you can have that clear understanding for you to be able to do the work that you do based upon whether you're doing a foundations or essentials course. That help we see is really important. So whether you're tapping into us through the questions, but most importantly, the role that we see AI helping you there and being able to demonstrate that today. And then again, most importantly, the fact that you get some CPD for undertaking this to meet your ongoing obligations, whether that is with professional bodies, for other hours that are required for legislative CPD hours as an advisor, for dealer groups that you may be registered for, et cetera, et cetera. This is accredited, and we are naturally an SMSF Association accredited educator in its own right. So this training will apply towards any CPD obligations that you have under the SMSF Association. Now, this is a really interesting couple of graphs that I wanted to show, because we've done a bit of work around this over the past couple of years, in particular when we launched our original course, which is now the SMSF Essentials course. Because what we regularly see is when new staff members come on in an organisation, or staff, multiple staff, it then becomes a challenge within the organisation to get them up to speed and get them up to speed quite quickly. So what the challenge here is well, there's an opportunity cost within the firm to get them up to speed, and therefore, is it the best way in time for other team members within that organisation to be delivering that particular training to get them up to speed? Now, there's 2 elements to how we need to look at this. There's the how well do they understand the superannuation and tax laws to be able to do their work day to day? And then there's this is how we do it in our organisation. So our role is not to deal with the latter part. How you do it in your organisation sits within the leadership and the management of that organisation. But what we do know is that where students are using our Smarter SMSF courses at a foundations or essentials level, we have seen an acceleration of learning of those particular students of potentially a month or more. So we've seen this applied within DGL, who's a client of ours, with their support staff. And then the other side of the ledger comes back to the management. So this, in our calculations, is giving back time to the manager level staff who move from being the educator to the mentor, and saving around $4,000 to $6,000 based upon that SMSF Essentials course. Because all the focus of that manager is they become the mentor, and this is how we do it in our firm, and validating the learning that the student has, rather than having to be the teacher in their own right. So the focus then is on the on-the-job training to apply the skills that they've been getting from the teachings that Tim and myself through that SMSF courses have been able to deliver. So it then also provides more autonomy to the student to learn and develop themselves, and less dependency on the manager, because as managers, we'd be saying, well, what do you think? And therefore they need to go and learn themselves through that process. And then from there, it enables the student, once they work through that, to then look at what other ongoing CPD support do they need to enhance not only their knowledge, but potentially the team's knowledge as well. And this is rung true for so many firms. And when you look at it at an enterprise level, it's the multiple effect of team members that we see here that move it into tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars as well. So a little bit of a course roadmap before we wrap up today. We are at this point in time making a number of adjustments and updates to our Essentials course. Tim is taking the opportunity to sort of update around not only the contribution rule, but sort of step up some of the content within some of those modules around Essentials to, I guess, further the gap between some of those in the Foundations and Essentials course. So you'll expect to see a range of those updates flowing through over the next few months. And whilst we're doing that, work has commenced on some of those modules within our advanced course. And as I mentioned earlier on, we will be as we finalize those, we will be releasing those and making them available individually. And then once we're at a point where those modules have been done as a collective, we will then be packaging those together in 2025. But you can look out for more details around some of those advanced course modules either later this year, so before the end of the final quarter, probably more likely earlier into the new year as well. So the final thing that I just want to touch on is looking beyond the courses and sort of taking us all the way back to the beginning today, where we were speaking about our education matrix and the fact that we not only provide courses that are looking at our Starter, Smarter, and Smartest model, so those that sort of fit within those, but we have a range of other ways in which we can support you and or your firm to continue on and maintain that currency of knowledge. So what is that next step? And ultimately, from our CPD options, we have our subscriptions. So whether it's a quarterly subscription to access our changing face of SMSF, which is in March and June and September and December every year, or whether you want to access our masterclass events and some of those other sessions that we run throughout the year through our CPD regular. So that's for an individual subscription, or CPD business that enables multiple team members within the organization to tap into that. We also have our technical support service that you can purchase a range of tickets to be able to send that through and get answers from the Smarter SMSF team. So those are natural next steps that we see for practitioners who work through those courses. And if you want to find out more, not only can you go on to our website and have a look at those, the link is on the bottom of the page. You can also get in contact with us. You can give David a call here at our office, or send us an email at team@smartersmsf.com. The reason why we include this is because we know the number one item remains and continues to remain the currency of knowledge. So am I keeping up to date with everything that's going on? So courses are great because it allows you to get that currency of knowledge at that point in time, but maintaining that currency of knowledge is equally as crucial, and therefore tapping into some of these solutions that we have at Smarter SMSF based upon the different ranges of support that you might need. Starter, Smarter, Smartest model again will ensure that we not only keep you up to date, but you maintain those ongoing obligations for the various professional bodies and knowledge base areas, or knowledge areas, I should say, as well. So some key takeaways for you today. So we now at Smarter SMSF have 2 accredited courses to be able to assist professionals who are working within the SMSF sector. And they are complemented by additional CPD solutions that all fit within that Starter, Smarter, Smartest model around our education. We have the courses available to you to purchase individually for you or for a particular team member, noting that we also have an enterprise solution for larger organizations and dealer groups and associations, where really you'll have 20 or more staff that would want to look at benefiting from a solution such as that. Our partnership with the SMSF Association provides an opportunity to access a complimentary period of membership, whether it's the affiliate membership with our Foundations course or the associate membership as part of our Essentials course that provides anywhere between $300 and $600 of extra value when you sign up to our SMSF courses here. And then beyond the courses, again, Smarter SMSF has a range of solutions to be able to support you. So that pretty much takes us to the end of today's session. We have a range of other events coming up that you can see on the right-hand side here, including our upcoming masterclass, which will be in November, Before that, both Tim and I will be traveling around Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne for the SMSF Advisor Technical Strategy Days. And the other one, if you want to find out what's happening within the Smarter SMSF team, both in terms of our course updates, but also across our document platforms and features and stuff, our Smarter SMSF update on the 17th of October is something that you should be registering for as well. You can find out more about all of these events at our smartersmsf.com/events page, and suggest, if you aren't already, register and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will be uploading this onto the YouTube channel for you to watch at a future point in time. And you can also access there Feeling Smarter weekly videos that Tim and I do, and a range of other sort of product demos that we do throughout the calendar year as well. So thank you to everyone for joining me today. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask them now. Otherwise, you can get in contact with us. Our details are on the slide there. Hope you found today valuable. Have a great rest of the day, great rest of the week. Take care, and bye for now.